so much for making the time. So first, let's talk about Chinese investments into Europe, because lots of capital are going to Europe seeking advanced technologies that can be applied then back to the Chinese market. Have you felt this trend in Sweden?
We have seen some big investments in Sweden as well. The most famous one is Geely, acquisition of Volvo cars. The most Swedish of Swedish brands, I think, is the Volvo car. And it has been a tremendous journey with the Chinese owners of Volvo cars. The production is up, the investments is up in Sweden and in China, and are producing record number of cars very successfully. So this has been in Sweden a good example of Chinese investments in Sweden. We can see that the investments in Europe are increasing from China, but I would like to see even more investments in Sweden, because I think most people don't know, but Sweden is a relatively small country, only 10 million people, but we're ranked number 2 in the world when it comes to innovation. So we're very much in the forefront of technology.
So what kind of technology do you feel that Sweden is the most capable of and the most advanced that Chinese companies can invest?
I think it's very broad in Sweden, because we're home of the Nobel Prize in science. So of course we have very long tradition of research and innovation in Sweden. But if I look at some sectors that we're really good at and very front row in, look at transportation, for instance. We have huge companies like Volvo cars, like Scania buses, like Volvo trucks. We have a long range, but also on the electrical side now, newcomers that are investing heavily in electric vehicles in Sweden. So that's an area where we're really good at transportation. Another sector that we're well leading is energy, with the company ABB that is now connecting wind parks in central part of China with the coastal areas of China and the big cities. ABB is delivering well technology in transferring energy, but also saving energy in a big scale. Life science, AstraZeneca is a big pharmaceutical company with a big presence here in China already. So, but also smart cities. If you look at Sweden, Sweden is both innovative, but we're also very sustainable. We're one of the most sustainable countries in the world, and I know that your government is pushing very hard with the environmental issues. So actually the Prime Minister, myself and the Minister of Environment are here together pushing for innovations on the green side of the economy.
But is Chinese capital welcome in Sweden? As we have seen that in countries in the US and some countries in Europe, deals have been blocked on the basis of national security.
Sweden is very open for trade and investments. We've always been, so we're free traders. So we're open for investments. That's why we perhaps there was hesitation when Chinese ownership came and invested in Volvo cars, but now we see the long-term engagement. So we're looking more for long-term engagement and development rather than only looking at what flag there is on the investment. So Sweden is very open, much more open than the Americans and many European countries.